invasion was close at hand. Now, as D-Day and H-Hour approached, the final logistical operation was...
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, here we go for another match. We have a Russian Fury playing as Merciful Fury versus Romich, or Roma, however you want to go with. They've predetermined that the sides are going to be, for this first match, Red Army for Romich, and Merciful Fury is going to be playing Wehrmacht. Not sure if that was to avoid the meta or just to go with a more realistic faction choice, but we will certainly find out. Russian Fury is banking. It's an interesting choice. Like going for Panzer Grenadiers? It's definitely not a map you want to bank on. There's a lot of important cover that you can only get to if you had rushed. For 40 seconds in and nothing coming out? Is this throwing? I'm very confused what's going on right now. Oh, so they banked all the way up for Panzer Grenadier goes Deutschland. That's not something I've ever seen done in a 1v1. Usually the game of the name is to get as much on the field as possible. That elite units, they certainly can make the difference, you know, being microed to where they can take full advantage of that skill use. But at the same time, you've now allowed Roma to get into a bunch of spots that you can't easily dig him out of. These buildings to be won. Also, there immediately goes the sniper. Is this a purposeful handicap? I really don't understand why that choice was made. Certainly see if it pays out for them. Russian Fury will be able to secure one flag. Some Grenadiers to reinforce now. Definitely a wise choice. Elite MGs in direct control, doing elite MGs in direct control things. I feel like if I was Roma, I'd just get some snipers out now if you're just gonna spam elite infantry. Let's take a Lafette out. Fury now finally making a move to take a second flag. As Roma gets increasingly dug in. Axum out for Roma and Liege out for Russian Fury. I feel like they had to have prearranged this because Roma is a very aggressive player, and if he would see that there's nothing over here, he would be pushing all around the flanks. Must have been some sort of handicap, I would imagine. Three AT rifles out from Roma. Ah, he got the anti-tank rifle by. So he has the Guards PTRS in there. Two of them. Seeing Volst Grenadier platoon in from Russian Fury. The heat has now been turned on. Liege gun is going to be a huge problem. It means that the infantry nor those sandbags are going to be able to hold the ground out in the open, and even in cover, it's not going to last for very long. Fury attacking across all fronts. Romich is coming out ahead on the score points, though, due to the very expensive units that Merciful Fury, Russian Fury had lost so far. Although Fury has managed to pick up most of his opponent's defenses over here on this northern flank. Russian Fury now trying to make a move on the southern flank, or northern flank. We're also seeing is this 3 out from Roma. This 3 is likely to lose that fight against the Liege gun, so it's curious as to why that was bought. The Liege gun is simply far more accurate to its arc. Well, the Liege gun is going to pull back now. Fury does manage to secure this northern flank, despite Roma having great entrenchment advantage. Roma's not shown off that he has this. No reaction from the Liege gun. Oh, no, here it comes. We're now seeing a BA-64 out as well. Is no AT rifle out from Russian Fury, I don't believe, though of course there's a Panzerschreck, Panzerfaust, and of course the Liege gun. Be interesting to see how much this BA-64 accomplishes. They are fairly cheap, at only 130 MP, though the gunner is vulnerable to being shot out as well. Liege gun just misses. Doesn't take out the BA-64. Romich, on the other hand, on top of his micro at the AT rifles, and down goes Russian Fury's half-track. Leash gun continuing trying to hunt that BA-64. A second leash gun out from Russian Fury. Leash guns are very strong, but to see two of those in 1v1 is certainly not something you see often. BA-64 on the move again. Looks like the Ziz is trying to engage. He's firing indirect white phosphorus at the leash gun. BA-64 continuing to get very lucky. Looks like he had dropped a guy into the cap. Well, does Panzerfaust pick him off? Neither realize that they are... Well, the BA-64 realizes he's there, but this guy doesn't want to peek over. I'm guessing it's just the way that cover is. And Russian Fury hasn't realized that he could be making a move. Not sure what that ping was about. Down that guy goes, and the leash gun continues to get very unlucky with targeting the BA-64. All Russian Fury would need right now is an AT rifle to deal with this, but he refuses to buy it. Now seeing a Martyr out. Martyr is certainly an interesting choice. Most likely it's just an SP Martyr, which would make substantially more sense. Roma still holding the majority of the points, now sitting at 8-2. Fury out here with an officer attempting to spot. Fury is now getting into the southern points, though just barely. May be able to cap them. Fury still has not been able to recover from that opening, just Romich is so much more dug in many places. Gun trying to hunt the BA-64 once again. Oh no. Looks like he's aiming for the Marine machine gun. Romich with the grenade micro, securing that flag back. Marine machine gunner now up to 8 kills. Let's take a look at those kills. Actually, top being a machine gunner for the Marines, an anti-tank rifleman for the Russians, and AMG for the Germans. Kills definitely very much in favor of Romich's side. Giving up that initiative is proving to be decisive. BA-64 is making a move while the leash gun's not paying attention. Oh, he's gonna get an officer too. Oh, he picks up the officer. That's worth it alone. Now he's gonna struggle to get the gun back down. Down goes the leash gun. Oh, that's painful. That was very painful. We're seeing the Panzer III coming in to try and hunt the BA-64. BA-64 looks like it's going to get away. Oh no, he stopped! And he eats a Panzerfaust. Or he eats a rifle grenade, actually. That feels bad. More Maxims out for Roma. The 0, 7 to 3. It's looking very rough for Russian Fury. Russian Fury just have a pretty strong presence here in the mid with the flamethrower. Has a 3M. Looks like it's trying to hunt down the Ziz 3 in conjunction with the Leash Gun. Leash Gun in a very strong spot behind this hill. Able to decrew that Ziz, as I was worried about. Romich is sitting way above his CP cap. Really should be putting that into more officers. Could be having a lot more MP right now. Well, CP payback cap, I should say. We're seeing the double OT-34 buy. These guys come with a bunch of assault sappers with a Panzerfaust 60 each. And we're seeing the pretty much the hard counter buy, which is Merciful Fury going for the dual flak guns. Something you don't see in meta games very often, but I think they are very underappreciated if you're playing on the appropriate map size. Especially a flat map like this, having 230 range AT guns at 16 minutes in the game where most things only have about 200 is pretty devastating. Flame tanks are going to have to play very careful since they are split up as well. They're going to be able to pincer anything that moves. And with their stealth, he knows that they exist. Romich knows that they exist. But as soon as he deploys these, they're likely going to disappear. It's only because they are attached to those vehicles that they are obvious. This one has now also made itself aware under the direct control. Fury really needs to deploy this one. There's a lot here to stop this tank. Romich now getting essentially nothing in payback. Does not have the is now buying the officers. But he's only going to be able to get down to 49, which is still above the threshold. And Martyr 3 knocks out the first Flame T-34. Interesting how Romich responds to this. I mean, Russian Fury has to put Pedal to Metal at 7 to 3, 120 to 0. It's only going to be another 5 minutes or so before the game ends by capture points. Again, feeling that early loss in initiative. Can Merciful Fury basically disassemble Romich's line to get in there? He's certainly trying for it, but looks like we're seeing another Volksgrenadier platoon throwing more men into the meat grinder. There's a giant layer of supporting onslaught over here. He's trying to outzone Romich completely. Down goes the Maxim gun. Fury now trying to get this 88 up onto the hill. There he does. Romich could definitely be taking the opportunity of this rotating and the hill to take it out. But I don't think he's realized that he has that opportunity, however slim it is. Rifle picking off a couple of guys as Romich grenade micros desperately to retake this flag. $130 to 0. Russian Fury has to be able to take 2 flags back in order to get back into this, and then continue to hold them. French Russians quickly making short work of this Volksgrenadier platoon. Well, at least part of it. Now seeing an emphasis shift from the middle onto the far left by the looks of it. It's only going to earn them 1 flag though. So he's trying to clear the mid out with a Panzer III. Now following up with some Volkssturm. Assault sappers are coming in though. Lands a hit but doesn't penetrate somehow on that Panzer III. Now trying to put an AT grenade onto it. Takes out the turret and damages the crew. You get that second Panzerfaust. Oh no, look. Looks like the second Panzerfaust has missed. Now seeing a Katyusha in, causing devastating damage over onto the middle left. Decrews the Liege Gun and the 88. Again, we've been seeing moves from this T-34 to take out that 88 in time. Panzer III does finally go down to a bazooka. (140-0). Russian Fury did manage to secure that left flank, but he needs 1 more. At this point, Romich should be going full dump. He still has some of his SP. Putting that in the veteran snipers or something else. And putting some more infantry in the middle. Both of these flags are being recontested by Romich. Looks like it's going to be games, ladies and gentlemen. A big difference before compared to that first, or should I say last game with Chip and Ho, where the games went to an hour. Here we're going to have one finished in sub 25 minutes. 223 goes down from an anti-tank rifle, Roma on top of that AT infantry micro. Water now getting taken out by the AT rifle. Oh, that's painful. And that looks like it's going to be game 1 here, ladies and gentlemen. Going to Romich. Merciful Fury losing that initiative and paying for it. Despite the better combined arms, it just was not able to make up for that initiative while Romich was still using his micro. So that's game 1, guys. We will catch you back here shortly after an intermission for game 2.
With the coming of spring, 1944, the winter stalemate in Italy was broken. Our forces slowly resumed fighting their way up the west coast of the Italian boot toward Rome against bitter German opposition. The British advanced up the east coast in the face of equally bitter opposition. In the Pacific, troops of the 1st Cavalry Division landed on Los Negros and Manus Islands in the Admiralty Group to wipe out all Japanese resistance and complete occupation of the entire group of islands. we landed large forces at Hollandia and Itape on the north coast of New Guinea. General Stilwell and his troops were fighting the Japanese in Burma. This was global warfare on a scale never known before. Less than 3 years before, Hitler had addressed the Reichstag.
Germany, Italy, and Japan will wage common war upon the United States to a victorious conclusion.
In Rome, his fascist partner had declared,
Fascist Italy and National Socialist Germany, ever closely linked, participate from today on the side of heroic Japan against the United States.
A Japanese militarist joined the derisive chorus.
Americans have radios, automobiles, big beefsteaks. When a people has those things, they don't want to fight. Americans won't sleep in hammocks or lie in trenches. They are like a tiger whose stomach is full. They are sleepy.
The American is no soldier.
The American, no soldier. And yet there he was, carrying the fight to the boastful aggressor. The self-acclaimed Superman was learning to his bitter surprise and sorrow the fighting qualities of the American soldier. It seems the aggressors had made a slight miscalculation.
In Italy, our forces pushed on through rain and mud, over mountains, across rivers, toward Rome. Our power drive up the Italian boot forced the enemy to divert 30 of his divisions from France and the Low Countries, weakening his defenses along the English Channel coast, where our invasion of France was soon to come. We now had an army numbering millions of soldiers. We now had 150,000 armored vehicles as compared to the 29 tanks the Army had in 1940. 400,000 artillery pieces were now engaged in the war effort compared to the 235 available in 1940. 1940 production capacity of 117 aircraft a month. We were now producing 9,000 planes of all types a month. A plane every 5 minutes, 12 an hour. Here now was an air arm of 150,000.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, here we back are for match 2 against Romich and Russian Fury. This time, Romich has opted for Wehrmacht, and Russian Fury has gone with regular Soviets, I believe. I'll make sure of that, yes. They've gone Bumpkin with a pick from Russian Fury since they had lost. Romich gets to pick the side, of course. This will be interesting. It's very spread wide. I feel like the Soviets will have the advantage in the early game simply because they're going to be able to pump out so much infantry in comparison to the Germans, and then lock it down on hills with the HMGs. We'll certainly see. Looks like Russian Fury is banking once again. The infantry opening is certainly not standard, at least in our meta, or the meta that I know. Going with the BSF Marines, solid choice, of course. It's not nearly as punishing on this map as it is Bastogne, as while there is important cover, it's not as dominative, and there is more depth to that cover. As far as the factions, it seems to be the main thing about the factions was that they banned Guards and Ostfront. BSF Marines are, of course, significantly cheaper than the Großdeutschland, so it's a far more reasonable choice as well to bank for those. Russian Fury going for a very center-heavy initial push and then moving on to the west, where Roma has done kind of the opposite and pushed east and center, although he is more spread in general. And does take out one of the BSF Marines. DP-27 in position, though. Takes out the German machine gunner. Singled by Panzergrenadiers, interestingly enough. Will Romich be able to get up to this machine gun and pick it up before it despawns in a 1v1, probably. Just trying to shore up that middle, realizing that there is a vulnerability. Romich does come ahead in the flags, currently sitting at 5-4. Initial trades are looking even as far as death-wise. Both now into the trench in the middle, trying to blind grenade each other. Looking to be a fairly even fight between the two. The goal of the machine guns. Looks like that MG will get, the MG assist, get his MG. Well, he's under a remove order, and so just immediately dropped his full magazine. Certainly not ideal. Panzer Pioneers now out from Romich. Going to see some holes, probably some flamethrowers down in that middle. Of course, gets the Panzer truck as well. Charge out from Merciful Fury. Looking to just overwhelm this eastern flank, and probably will. There's only 4 guys here. We can immediately defend the objective. We'll be able to put the flags back into Russian Fury's control. Machine gun pushed up very far. Did manage to take out this machine gun back here. Or did he relocate? Let's see where his body is. Yes, he did go down. Machine gun must be on his body. Romich looks like he's on top of the micro. No, that is the Panzerschreck. Hasn't realized to go grab. There he goes. Now he's going for the machine gun. That's the Romich I know. King of the micro. Dushka now out for Russian Fury, as well as 2 squads of infantry and an AT rifles. 2 AT rifle buys. Or is this another charge? I'm not sure. No, it's not another charge. It's just 2 squads. Banked up a lot of MP. Flag's still in Romich's favor. It looks like most of that charge ended up getting diverted into the ditch. Maybe trying to just straight up cut off Roma, but Roma is aware and has been sending reinforcements in. Seeing how Lafette and Sturm Grenadiers in to clear that up while Russian Fury pushes the other objective with the Dushk. Dushk has no opponents over here, no MGs, no nothing to really stop it. Romich is going to have to close in with grenades. Or try and keep it smoked off and hope that Russian Fury is not going to be able to direct control it. Looks like he's going to get into a good spot too. Should be able to fire right over this ridge. There we go. Picks off one. We are seeing the Russian, or the Stalin's Gamble now out, T60, T70. Both players being very aggressive with their SP, which is something that we've come to know more from the 1v1s. Romich getting into the flag down here again with a buttload of smoke. Going to need to use these Panzer Grenadiers, Sturm Grenadiers with their Panzerfaust. Otherwise, he's going to get forced out by the T70. This Dushk would be best used if he got another BSF or something to put the crew on. Popping that up from 3 to 6 skill would be a big difference. Accidentally far shoots, trying to hit the Lafette, and takes out part of that Volks Grenadier squad, including almost all of the Rifle Grenadiers. That was pretty beautiful, well, beautiful and also painful at the same time. Second shot managed to take out the Lafette crew. That is the SP Lafette. T60 going on a rampage back here. Will the Volksgrenadier Panzerfaust save the day? Grenade bundle bounces off of the T60. He's gonna try to get it. Will he get it? No, it misses. Oh, that's painful. Romich's gonna get completely kicked out of this corner now. Romich is getting the panic by Puma out. Early Stalin's Campbell is pulling off. Both tanks making their presence known. T-70 up to 8 infantry kills and a kill on the Lafette. T-60 up to only 4, but has completely disrupted the Romich's line over here. T-60 will be an easy target for the Puma, though. Another SP Lafette out. Puma getting very unlucky not being able to pick off that T-60. Now down behind a ridge. Puma is wisely disengaging, probably going to go hunt the T-70 that is wreaking havoc on the other side of the map. So he's trying to distract Russian Fury, although he doesn't have any AT to really hit it. Flamethrower moving over. He's going to get picked off, that's going to be painful as well. Russian Fury's been able to turn this match on its head back to a 6-5 in Russian Fury's control as far as kill-wise. It is also in Russian Fury's control by about 30%. Sniper manages to walk through all of those and the snipers and not die somehow. Down he goes now. Which really needs to be investing in some sort of infantry AT or another tank. Puma misses again. T-70 gets direct hit, immediately takes out the Puma's turret. Puma loses 3 of its wheels now. Likely does not have its gun on target anymore as a result. Infantry pushing up though. Russian Fury's been distracted. Does take out the T-70. Puma is essentially dead though. Might as well self-destruct it. It's lost all 4 of its wheels on the one side. Although the turret isn't gone, so you can repair that. Could be useful in securing this. So I will stand corrected. Officer out for Russian Fury. A little late. Nothing out for Romich yet. Again, definitely need to be investing in those officers. Russian Fury, knowing that that was his only tank and probably listening for the sound from the fog, is now pushing deep with the T-60. T-34 platoon out from Russian Fury. Roma really needs to pick up some sort of defensive AT. Doesn't have the Faust, doesn't have the Panzerschrecks, and certainly doesn't have the AT rifles. Only a lone Puma to do otherwise. T-60 now pushing into the clutches of the T-60 now. Has its turret repaired. Romich now chasing it down with a demo charge with its very short range. Down he goes, while the Puma pick him off. There's a bit of a hill he is down in. Puma does take a shot though. Those T-34s are rolling in though. Seeing one on each side and a second one over to the east. Daring will Russian Fury be. Martyr out to counter, but it's not going to be able to be in every spot at the same time. And Panzerfaust moving in from multiple angles to engage the T-60. Romich actually engaging in buying the single buys with a couple Panzerfausts. Does take out the T-60. T-34 immediately makes itself known, knocking out almost his entire squad of Sturm Grenadiers in one shot. Russian Furies now has all of their officers, the Romich has none. Romich has got the Gates of Hellbrain. He's not used to the Robz meta anymore. Seven to 4 currently in Russian Fury's favor. Shell skips and bounces off of the T-34. Now engaging the other one. Russian Fury, knowing that his tank SP had gone to the other flank, is now pushing the southwestern flank. That Dushka looks like it had relocated over to the more middle location. T-34s are being much more cautious to stay clear of the Panzerfaust regardless. Which is definitely on the losing end, but certainly still has time to get back into this. Is smoking up that mid-left point. Although the layers of rifles, although shit, are landing their shots and doing damage. Will he be able to surprise that more? Finally out with an officer. Romich is actually bringing it up to spot. Martyr moving to hunt down the T-34. T-34 realizing the threat is now running. Now trying to take out the Dushka. I had realized that it had moved. Again, realizing the Martyr had moved, this T-34 now engaging. Now seeing T-34 85 out to counter the Martyr, as well as another Dush. I don't think that's all of Roma's SP yet, so I'm curious what he is saving for. This T-34 85 was an SP buy as well, so they're down to just 3. Another Lafette out. Romich is a bit boxed in and is threatened of getting cut off here on the left. So this T-34 is going to be thrown forward as a distraction now at the Martyr. That's the Martyr. Martyr is pulled back to his spawn. Unsupported infantry getting picked off by the layers of Russian Fury's infantry defense. Martyr now moving to try and hunt for the regular T-34 over on that eastern side. Russian Fury hasn't realized this move. T-34-85 not going to go hunt it yet. If they get pushed all the way up here into this ridge line, Lafette does go down to the T-34. And here Russian Fury is telling me Red Army's bad. Red Army coming out ahead so far in both matches. Another attempt by Roma to get down into the ditch. Smoke away. Now making a move to clear out this northeastern point entirely, just with infantry by the looks of it. A very slow, methodical game being had here. Russian Fury slowly tries to crumble away. Romich's line, while Romich pushing largely unsupported attacks, not able to deal with these tanks currently. Tanks and Dushka, I should say. We are seeing paratroopers out from Russian Fury now to shore up the line with some elite units. So Romich is now making a play in the middle as well. Does self-destruct the Puma. Though I'm a little curious why Roma is not buying into the officers. He's looking to play a long game, which it is. That's certainly the choice. Fury also up here trying to spot with his officer. Definitely some high-level plays that we are seeing. Entrenched Russians, of course, are getting the better hand against the attacking Germans. KD has even though. AT rifle moving forward is going to pose a threat to that Martyr if it keeps pushing. T-35 here though. One shots the Martyr. Oh, that's painful for Roma. That's all of his AT defense gone now. Immediately picks up the Pak-44 by though. I'm assuming this is probably what the remaining bit of his SP went into. Will he be able to find the angles though, and will it get hunted down by artillery once it's revealed? That is the question. Russian Fury pushing deeper and deeper into Romich's exposed flank. Seeing a flak Puma out. Not sure what he's going to be trying to make a move with his Pak-44. He can't move much more forward or he's going to be picked up by vision. is putting it into position here, likely going to try to snipe off that T-34. Not a very high value target, but a target nonetheless. The Russian Fury's seen it. No, he's only seen the Puma. The Puma's being used as bait. Expert play from Romich. One taps the T-34 with that big, long gun. Will he displace, or is he looking for another target? Focusing elsewhere by the looks of it. Will Russian Fury be picking up some artillery to counter it? I would assume so. Now a combined assault to break this western side by Romich. With that Pak-44 in tow, it can certainly deal a lot of damage. We're getting a little bit too brazen. There's assist 2 hidden over here. 44 not being engaged to put out to engage it. Puma losing 2 wheels, but does get down into the ditch. Will it be safe there? No, it will not. Takes the fucking rebound off the ground. Takes out Puma. As this 2's got displaced now, the Pak-44 will almost certainly be engaging it. Although I'm sure Merciful... Oh no, Merciful Fury is just getting lucky hits on it back there. I don't think he realized that it is there. Which has deployed it but is not faced again on target. More Panzer Grenadier Pioneers moving over to the right flank. Pak-44 was a pretty big investment, really has to be putting it to work. So taking the time to turn the gun around, looks like he's just going to drop it after getting it turned around manually. Oh, no. He is full on relocating, trying to take the eastern flank now. Definitely a much slower and methodical game from both sides here. The shot be playing at 64, 102 to 38. Russian Fury doing a much better job of achieving a complete support network, layered of infantry guns and tanks to support his infantry. Potentially looking for a shot on that T-34. Doesn't see it. May hear it. Romich is now up to his officers. I see at least 4. Not sure if one had died or whatnot. I know he was using them for spotting. Pak-44 is now deployed. Russian Fury does not see it. It misses though. Puts it on hold fire. Lafette being pushed very far forward. Not making use of that range advantage that he gets. T-34-85 being very brazen. Likely going to pay for it. Well, maybe he's engaging it. Nope, down goes the 85. power of the Pak 44 is always shown. Not sure what that says. I don't speak Russian. Probably raging about the Pak 44 would be my guessing. So, Russian Fury is in a perfectly fine position, and that Pak 44 takes up a substantial amount of micro. Leech gun now in from Romich to take out some of these infantry strong points, including these snipers, I would guess. Romich is going to put pedal to the metal though and full spend. He is at 9-2 at 119, 120 to 36. He's only got 5 more minutes or so before the game ends. He's desperately trying to pick off these various strong points. Dushk does manage to dodge another Pak 44 shell. Very likely we'll see a game 3 here. Katyusha now in. That is the counter buy to the Pak 44. Pak 44 does pick off the Dushk, but he's got to move. Even if he does move, that Katyusha is going to be looking for him constantly. Has a fairly high likelihood of killing that Pak 44, even if he runs with it immediately. Here comes the shells, which hasn't realized yet. Oh, the trailer gets taken down. He threw the gun as well. Doesn't actually take it out though. All of the rockets landing around it. That's unfortunate for Russian Fury, although I'm not sure how much it matters. T-34 now going balls to the walls, hunting it. Low skill crew on the Pak 44. Pak 44 misses. Will the T-34 pick it up before it reloads? Romich needs to be sending these Panzerfaust forward in a desperate attempt. Oh, he's targeting the transport, interestingly enough. Well, Pak 44 landed its next shot then. Should be reloaded. Oh, down it goes. Oh, that's painful. Yeah, that's definitely going to be game then. Going to a game 3 with Romich versus Russian Fury here. Panzerfaust misses. Well played by Russian Fury there. Down goes the T-34, but likely too little, too late. Unless Romich can pull off a miracle here, I highly doubt. He could need to take 3 different points at the same time. 4, actually. And Russian Fury is well dug in across the map. Now a paradrop by Roma, desperately trying to get it though. There's a lot of Russian officers back there. That would have been a play earlier on, that's for sure. Flipping 1, but he's going to be flipping a lot more. No tanks or reserves to stop the Bolshevikers. Here come the counter charge, but Romich is not going to be able to flip all these flags in time, unfortunately. Counter pair drop out. But yeah, that's the game, guys. 148-36. Russian Fury able to come back, stay strong throughout the match. Pack 44 not able to make the difference. And moving to a game 3 with Roma being able to pick the next map. GG's going out. Alright, we'll move to an intermission and we'll catch you guys back for the final game.
With the coming of spring, 1944, the winter stalemate in Italy was broken. Our forces slowly resumed fighting their way up the west coast of the Italian boot toward Rome against bitter German opposition. The British advanced up the east coast in the face of equally bitter opposition. In the Pacific, troops of the 1st Cavalry Division landed on Los Negros and Manus Islands in the Admiralty Group to wipe out all Japanese resistance and complete occupation of the entire group of islands. We landed large forces at Hollandia and Itape on the north coast of New Guinea. General Stilwell and his troops were fighting the Japanese in Burma. Was global warfare on a scale never known before. Less than 3 years before, Hitler had addressed the Reichstag.
Germany, Italy, and Japan will wage common war upon the United States to a victorious conclusion.
In Rome, his fascist partner had declared,
Fascist Italy and National Socialist Germany, ever closely linked, participate from today on the side of heroic Japan against the United States.
A Japanese militarist joined the derisive chorus.
Americans have radios, automobiles, big beefsteaks. When a people has those things, they don't want to fight. Americans won't sleep in hammocks or lie in trenches. They are like a tiger whose stomach is full. They are sleepy.
The American is no soldier.
The American, no soldier. And yet there he was, carrying the fight to the boastful aggressor. The self-acclaimed Superman was learning to his bitter surprise and sorrow the fighting qualities of the American soldier. It seems the aggressors had made a slight miscalculation.
In Italy, our forces pushed on through rain and mud, over mountains, across rivers, toward Rome. Our power drive up the Italian boot forced the enemy to divert 30 of his divisions from France and the Low Countries, weakening his defenses along the English Channel coast, where our invasion of France was soon to come. We now had an army numbering millions of soldiers. We now had 150,000 armored vehicles as compared to the 29 tanks the Army had in 1940. 400,000 artillery pieces were now engaged in the war effort compared to the 235 available in 1940. From a 1940 production capacity of 117 aircraft a month, we were now producing 9,000 planes of all types a month, a plane every 5 minutes, 12 an hour. Here now was an air arm of 150,000 planes supporting the coordinated Allied effort to wipe out enemy industry, supply routes, and communication facilities. The American tiger, grown sleepy on a full stomach, or so the Japanese had thought, was now fully awake, lean, and fighting in the jungles. On the 4th of June, 1944,
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we're back again here for match 3, a very close series, especially with that last match. Romich just not able to get back into it after having that initial advantage. And we're seeing a faction swap once again. Romich is going to be playing the Red Army, and Russian Fury is going to be playing Wehrmacht. Romich had picked Gaan, and Russian Fury looks to appear to have picked the top side of the team, but I believe that's down here if I remember. Find out here momentarily. I think this map slightly favors Wehrmacht, just simply because there's a lot more areas where the STG and the Panzerfaust can make itself known. Yes, I was correct, it is down here. Opening Fusiliers, no elite opening this time. We are down to serious business. Potentially just trying to bait him out entirely. Marine MG out for Soviets as well. Single buys out from Russian Fury. Romich going for a hard north-south split. Russian Fury is going for a more even distribution. Center is generally not considered to be super valuable on this map simply because there is high points on the corners all around it. At most, you can just send one guy in and grenade war. Fury walking past his opponent, costing him that south flank entirely. Does pick up this guy though, which is aware. It's not a fight he's likely to win though. There might be a tree in their way. No. Which is going to come out ahead on flags at 4-2-3. Pumping out more single buys, by the looks of it. Have-toes and a machine gun. The Soviet flame tank buy would be a very strong choice on this map. Getting the Panzerfaust and of course flame tanks on a very hilly map is quite the advantage. This is a guy who's actually a Fallschirmjäger. Saw a Fallschirmjäger FG-42 team, not something you see very often now. Grenade wars have begun. Romich coming out on top with his superior blast radius and timing. Half-track out from Merciful Fury already, as well as the SP Lafette. Romich getting a bazooka. Also, due to these close angles, it's going to be hard to find tank shots. I would like to see the AT rifle out from the Soviets as well. The SP buy. See though. Does pick off the Fusilier MG. That was a perfect angle. Then throws the grenade point right on. Romich, the king of the micro, still. To note that Russian language that Merciful Fury had posted at the end of that last, or towards the end of that last match, did indeed say about something along the lines about the Pak-44 hitting its first shot. That was quite lucky. Now desperately trying to get back into the southern side with a combined push of Sturm Grenadiers, and this half-track misses the second shot with the bazooka. STG's on the attack move, missing pretty hard, and the bazooka gets picked off. Romich on the micro though. Shock SMG is now out. Bazooka guy goes down again. Definitely where he want that AT rifles. Although he can't quite get it yet. Russian Fury aware that he's trying to grab the bazooka again. Tree saves him, doesn't matter, gets cut down anyhow. I do now see the AT rifle by. Half-track potentially going to town. Trying to land a grenade in it. Just misses. Unfortunate. Grenade trying to sneak up on him though now. What happened here? Oh man, that is painful. The flamethrower detonated and burned out the entire squad of assault SMGs. Romich getting punished by the RNG BX-64, now being sent in to recover this. Another mechanized Sturm Grenadier, or no, mechanized Panzer Grenadier now being sent over to the right flank to cause the same havoc. Romich has somewhat positioned an AT rifle over that direction though. Down the AT rifle goes. Storm Grenadier tries to go and pick up the Panzerfaust out of the half-track, immediately gets cut down by the AT rifle. Which now going to be able to secure this flank again. But here comes the Volksgrenadier platoon to push up with this Panzer Grenadier assault. He's trying to run up onto that, but he's not going to get close. AT rifle still not in position. See mechanized shock units out though. Should be a fairly solid counter. Actually, you're seeing Fallschirmjägers mixed in with this. Not sure what he had grouped up all together there. AT rifles now in position to kill off the half track. Which still does maintain that 4-2-3 lead. A very late AT rifle out from Merciful Fury. That may be a missed micro. Where are we going with this? Yes, that is a missed micro. Going to lose that AT rifle for nothing. All those Volksgrenadiers face a similar fate, now pushing through the middle for Russian Fury. Looks like we're seeing assault rifles now out from Romich. Romich able to secure this with a flamethrower. Taking out several Volksgrenadier. Not sure. The AT rifle doesn't look like it's been able to find a good shot on that. Cal now engaging though. Kills very much in Romich's favor. Only having spent one of his SP for those AT rifles. 222 now aim to kill off the PA-64. PA-64 luckily manages to make it away. Marines are here as well to help shore us up. Russian Fury has made quite a big gap here in the center though. The Sturmviks are going to be quite a bit better than the Volksgrenadier. I say that as they lose out pretty heavily. Lafette in middle as well to support that. Russian Fury has definitely turned the aggression to 11. Looking for a quick early win by decimating every point that he can. A mass push. Half track now getting into a very disgusting position. AT rifle now finally taking a shot. Another 222 in. It's going to have a hard time hitting either one of these guys, really. German half-track doing German half-track things. Basically need to hit this flat spot and hope you roll the RNG to kill it. Hitting this angled spot, especially while it's angled at the 30 or so degrees it is now, means it's pretty much going to bounce everything entirely. Or mechanized Sturmgrenadiers being sent in. And a counter shock SMG. Romich this time being the one with the first officer. I'm not sure if I think that AT rifle died. Yes, he did. Second AT rifle moving in position. Really would have liked him to see him up here somewhere. Those flanking shots on. Middle push is getting cleared out now slowly. This Lafette is making itself known, up to 8 infantry kills. KD has now equalized quite a bit. Romich has to counter push through that. Another Lafette now out. Romich does sit on the majority of the flags still, keeping it 40-9 for the 3 flags. PTRS just cannot finish that half track. Just not a good angle for it. Saw another SP buy out from Romich, but I'm not sure what it was. Looks like he may have just gotten more AT rifles. Russian Fury now looking to take the flags to his advantage, pushing through over here onto the southern side. Storm Grenadiers performing very well on this map. More mechanized Panzer Grenadiers out. Russian Fury loves them. Loves his mechanized. The 64 out from Romich. Only a single Panzerfaust in position to do anything about it, but there's the Panzertruck further back. Now seeing Stalin's Gamble out. T60 and T70. Romich needs to get more officers too to get that full payback. Should ideally be sitting at 4 officers. Get under that 30 CP threshold. Mechanized push over here did manage to break through despite all of these AT rifles. One half track finally goes down. Roma's half track has gone down as well. Will he find the killing shot on this one finally? 222 looks like it might be moving back over to the southern flank. More mechanized out from Russian Fury. Marines in here will make pushing further into this quite difficult. It has the 222. No, 222 has not been sent all the way over. Where is he looking for a shot at? I'm not entirely sure. The 64 is cleaning house. Struggling to do some pathfinding. Does take off the MG. Flag will flip back to Romich, although there is a side push in now. Handful of Storm Grenadiers looking to make a move on the rear flag. More Storm Grenadiers being sent in with the half track. Oh no, the half track's going the other direction actually. Not a combined assault this time. That is the one advantage that Red Army definitely does have on this map, is that they're going to be able to make more use of those shock SMGs, which is probably why Roma's buying so many of them. Flamethrowers are quite powerful indirect weapons. 222 was brought over finally, takes out the BA-64. Would like to see that T-70 to counter it. T-70 had gone over here likely trying to counter it. We'll shut down these half-tracks though. Maybe eventually this half-track won't die. There it goes, finally. Half-track ate so many rounds. Double Panzer IV buy out from Merciful Fury, not something that you see very often either, but a solid counter against this late Stalin's Gamble. More shock SMGs out from Romich. Which is substantially better cover and positioning over on this side, which means he will likely hold on to it for the 3 in Romich's favor. 51-19. Let's check those kills again. Still fairly equal. Merciful Fury did pull ahead with that 2-2-2, picking up nearly a third of all of the points for Russian Fury. Russian Fury out with the second officer. This Lafette up to 10 kills. The other Lafette not accomplishing much so far. And the Ford does land a hit on the T-60, takes out the engine. Well, the T-60 manages to take out the Lafette before it gets fully killed off. All it needs is one direct hit. Hits the crew, takes the crew out. That is certainly a difference, considering those guys are 5 skill. And down it goes. Big Jaeger now coming over here. T-70 moving to close the distance on that Panzer IV. With APCR, it can certainly make that a relatively even fight. Does take out the half-track in the way. And before realizing the danger, begins backing out. Wisely makes use of its fire rate advantage and range disadvantage, closing in close to the hill. Does not want to be too close though, does not want to eat a Panzerfaust, and is fully well aware of this. Exactly what happened still. T-70 completely decrewed by that Panzerfaust. Not sure what sort of internal damage is not being displayed, but does get the rearmament. And before looking to make a move, T-70 will have low skill. Wisely loading the APCR. This range he likely can pen in. Now that that early mechanized aggressiveness is worn off, it's become much more of a static game. Russian Fury controlling the center and Romich controlling the flanks pretty firmly on either case. Romich now out with a T-34-85. Looks like it was MP'd by. Yes, it was. If he can stay at range, he will be able to easily take out these Panzer IVs. It's easier said than done on a map like this, though. Hopefully we'll come up somewhere over here, I guess. Keeping it well within range. Now maybe we'll find a shot from here as well. T-70 was not being microed and is being punished for it. Russian Fury already ahead of the game, immediately following it up with mechanized. There is a considerable force here, though. This half-track was repaired, lost its engine, though. Still in an okay position to watch that little gully. For T-34-85 is looking for the kill on the Panzer IV. Does track the Panzer IV, which means the Panzer IV is dead. Romich just needs to realize it. T-34-85 does have the range advantage. Lands a penetrating hit. No, not finished quite yet. As soon as that's dead, he needs to rotate back around to the left side. Get up here somewhere. But I'm just about 210 out from there. A little bit further. Alternatively, he could move up into here. So a very solid spot if he can get the depression. With the Panzer IV going down, it is even still, Russian Fury still coming out ahead slightly. While Romich controls the flags. Romich really needs to be putting into these officers. Russian Fury is able to capture this flag back here. He's now moving to fully reinforce it. Will he be able to hold on to it though? A lot of Russians coming in. A lot of them getting cut down too. Big old wave coming to support it. Looks like rifles and shock SMG. T-35 takes out a half-track as well. Should now be rotating. Looks like he is. Yes, he is. He's moving over to that left flank to re-secure it. Would you believe it? Another mechanized Panzer Grenadier coming out to support that push over on the north. Wow, he's actually able to find shots on that hill from down there. Definitely a lot more valuable position than I had initially realized. Not sure what that heavy ammo is intended for either. DS-39 out, trying to reinforce the position. Not sure that's the buy at this point. Really, I'd just be putting it into officers. He only has 2. Could be sitting below the payback cap, increasing his MP tick rate by over 4 times. Even with all of these flamethrowers that Romich has, he isn't making good use of them. Looks like Russian Fury actually burned himself out. Of course, a whole nother flamethrower here. T-34-85 trying to hunt the Lafettes now. Which is an interesting choice. Trying to hunt off all of these vehicles over here. Be curious to know what Romich spends the rest of his SP on. Could certainly go for an ISU-122, although it is hard to find the 250 range on this map. DS-39 a little bit too far forward. It's not going to be able to make full use of this hill. The half-track should be able to penetrate at this range. Looks like he is. But he lived long enough to... Oh, there he goes. Which is not properly reinforcing that left flank. Does manage to find a shot onto the 222 though. Romich needs to be aggressive to get his flag lead back. Seeing Romich putting paratroopers right onto the edge of middle, that is a choice. He has killed or scared off all of the Feds. I definitely don't think you need Paris to get in there. They're vulnerable coming down. Russian paratroopers are also a little bit overpriced. Does get in, does get the cap though. Will he hold it is another question. Not really a lot of support. Only 3 of the paratroopers survived. Russian Fury out with another mechanized Panzer Grenadier, or Storm Grenadier in this case. It looks like he had gotten the heavy ammo for the T-34-85. Does not carry a ton of ammo along with it. Romich does gain his flag lead back this time by taking middle instead. I'm sure you're trying to secure the lockdown of this left side. Certainly a dynamic battle, one that is not stagnant. There's definitely trying to find the best spots for them. Let's say 9 had moved forward. T-34-85 is trying to catch the, or the Panzer IV trying to catch the 34-85 on reload. If not, it's going to get punished for it. Misses. Not get the punishment that he should have. Flamethrower shutting down the Storm Grenadier push. Well, didn't actually kill many of them. Seeing Katyusha buy out from Romich, more BSF Marines as well. Not a ton of high value targets over here, really only just a couple of Fats. That Lafette is up to 18 kills though. Probably just drop it right about here. If you were going to use it. I'm not sure it's the case. Brumbard is a solid choice for this map, although Red Army has the easy counter in the KV-2. Katyusha was misaimed. There's not a lot of targets there. Does take out the half-track still, but does not get either of the Lafettes, only decruise the one. Still has 2 more volleys in it, just needs to wait on the reload. Persevere immediately with the crew to pick that Lafette back up. More Sturmovix to reinforce that mid-left point. T-34-85 has to rely entirely on trying to spall it from the front, otherwise he needs to find a flanking angle. Or, like I had said, the easy counter to the Brumbard is something that Red Army has, which is, I can't remember where it is, the KV-2 at only 650 MP. It has a worse arc, but it has 200 range and can also one-shot the Brumbard. To where its armor does not matter. Will certainly be able to break up Romich's position if nothing is done about it. The supporting infantry are likely going to be next. Should be reloaded. The bombard not being put to work would be a tragedy. There it goes. Overshoots a collection of Marines. Sturmovic's over here. 485 looking to get the elevation and a shot onto the bombard, but unless it, like I said, unless he's facing side on, he's going to struggle to penetrate it. Max range, the 485 only has 81 millimeters of pen versus the 100 slope of the frontal bombard. Personally, I would just go after the T-34. Panzer IV being sent to engage as well now. The mechanized push likely not going to make any impact here. This angle does make gunner on the contract pretty resilient. Bombard is going to make the push for the T-34 85. 85 says fuck this and gets out. A wise choice to be sure. Trying to find the shot, doesn't find it though. Time to bully some infantry instead, I think. Romich now sitting at 117 to 38 for the 3. Has regained the kill lead as well. Bombard really needs to be put to work. A fairly large investment so far has returned basically nothing. Russian Fury going big or going home. Maybe not. I thought he was going to go for the officer snipe, but he's just trying to bring up this point that he has no forces to combine it. Oh, he didn't realize he has a limited time to control that paradrop. Was unfortunate. Not sure what the exact plan was, but it certainly didn't work out for him. Did do a little bit of damage, but certainly not enough to pay itself back. Stupa making its impact felt on the wrong team. Throwing up some of Mercenary's own men. Taking the unlucky tree. Katyusha is now reloaded. Is aiming at the Stupa. It's not going to reliably kill it though, but he might be going for a track. Definitely would have saved that to counter an infantry push. I'll answer that later. I'm not sure what exactly he had intended. Looks like the match is going to go to Romich, though. The Russian Fury is fairly well spent, and this Brumbar just did not manage to accomplish its goals. It needs to flip a flag and hold it for a long time. 15 points to go. 5 or so minutes. Is making the flip, though, in the middle. This is what that Katyusha should have been used for. Which, of course, always with the grenade micro. I think he was trying to take the T-34-85 out with that Brumbar shot. Missed, hit the tower, and killed the bazooka business. More mechanized out from Russian Fury. With the counter grenades is going to secure that middle. Romich not going to get his free victory quite yet. What flag will Romich try to re-secure? That is the question. Most likely either middle or that right flank, although this is quite vulnerable. Though just being reinforced, and Merciful Fury is trying to make use of it. Panzer Grenadiers, Mechanized, and Panzer IV moving in with support of the Lafette. Making a flanking attack with the Flamethrower. Well-positioned smoke. Romich is still sitting on 8 SP. Bazooka looking for a shot on that Panzer IV. Will he get it? Yes, he will. Misses. Down he goes from the flanking fire from the Lafette. Romich going around for round 2. Will he get it this time? Katyusha should be about reloaded. Panzer IV retreats this time. I really do think the call at this point is to pick up a KV-2. Seeing heavy ammo truck out for the Katyusha. Definitely don't think that's the call right now. Needs to get that flag back and just get the game over with. 8485 relocating over to the middle as well as the half track. The half track is trying to find a better position. Sternvik's pushing up through a cloud of smoke. There's fairly layered German defense here. Now 42 minutes into this match. Let's take a look at how the kills are going in Romich's favor, not decisively. Is getting a bunch of Storevix in here. Katyusha is now reloaded. Civics have made some progress over here, although it's not completely clear. Rifle grenades making that difficult. PDRS does take out the half-track over on the right flank. Romich up to 4 officers now. Still should be getting that 5th. Although it doesn't so much matter at this moment. This is a pretty good spot for this half-track. Looking for a bazooka shot, but he's not going to be able to penetrate the front of that stern panzer. You should know that. I don't think he can penetrate and go. That side angle is not favorable. Smoke out and trying to grab it now. Potentially he's looking for that track. Rush Fury just push up a Panzerfaust 100 to take out that sneaky little half-track. Katyusha now engaging in the middle. So some high-value Panther Grenadiers, but likely not enough to pay for it itself or provide an opportunity to break through. Kind of go ahead and post the stream. I forgot to share that with people. A little bit late now, but better now than never. Fury putting out the rest of their SP for the Volkswagen nearby. Probably should have did that earlier when they were against the flag disadvantage. Not sure what Romich has played. MP is now fully out. Romich does have over 700 in the bank with 8 SP. This is a long game to the short ones. Romich trying to get into the middle again with the smoke wall. Not sure if he got the track before, but he definitely has the track now. Down goes the broom bar. Well, wasn't really making that much of an impact. That may end up being a bonus for Russian Fury just to get the payback back out of it, since they weren't able to make full use of it. Some sort of flame tank here should clear this all out and give him these 2 flags. Romich is definitely far better set up for this late game. Does make a breakthrough this time with the Sternovics, landing flamethrower on a couple of guys, and will recap that flag unless something changes. Romich desperately trying to get in closer. Does get in closer, but the rifle grenade picks him off. Oh, that's painful. He's picking the flamethrower back up, though. Is within the arc of the MG. Gets down. He's going to save it, or he's going to put some of that flame on the half-track. He's going to go for the half-track. Burns it out. Somehow jams a flamethrower. Not sure how that one works. Russian Fury's forced to send the Volksgrenadier in. Can't simply wait. There's a lot of Russian infantry here, though. T-34 is very close to being within range of Panzerfaust 100, and certainly within range of a Panzerschreck if they get up in the air. Really, if he threw some smoke here, he could get a perfect shot onto the T-34 at 85, but instead we're seeing grenade wars all over on this hill. 139 to 150. If you're going to need to make the plays, Romich has come out way ahead in the points now, having decimated that room bar. Panzerschreck is looking for the opportunity, but there is no smoke wall. There's only a handful of infantry here now, though. Panzerschreck misses. He's forced to pull back. Did Romich realize it, though? He is able to get back in that center, but hasn't. He's just now starting to flip it, but the flamethrower is engaging. Flamethrower gets picked off immediately. Now the grenade micro. Picks off two of them. Which only needs to hold it together for a little bit longer and still has that reserve SP. And the Katyusha's reloaded, which he is now aiming. Pretty confident Romich is going to win this one. Where is the Katyusha looking for, or to cancel it? Looks like he canceled it. Fury also trying to make a bid over here for this flag as well. Which is prepared though with two flamethrowers. Like Romich is going to hold on to the flag long enough, and that's how it's done, ladies and gentlemen. Romich finishing the game 2-0, showing how you do it with the Red Army, winning both times. That was a good game, guys, and I hope you enjoyed, and we'll catch you for the next match tomorrow. 321 will be hosting that one, so you will catch him. Let me check when that match is exactly. It is at 12 p.m. EST, Starly versus Tank General. I hope you guys enjoyed, and we will catch you in the next one. Have a good one.
With the coming of spring, 1944, the winter stalemate in Italy was broken. Our forces slowly resumed fighting their way up the west coast of the Italian boot toward Rome, against bitter German opposition. The British advanced up the east coast in the face of equally bitter opposition. Pacific, troops of the 1st Cavalry Division landed on Los Negros and Manus Islands in the Admiralty Group to wipe out all Japanese resistance and complete occupation of the entire group of islands. We landed large forces at Hollandia and Itape on the north coast of New Guinea. General Stilwell and his troops were fighting the Japanese in Burma. This was global warfare on a scale never known before. Less than 3 years before, Hitler had addressed the Reichstag.
Germany, Italy, and Japan